Hey, what's up guys? It's been a little while since the first episode of my auction.com flip. Quite a bit has happened, so I want to give everyone an update. If you haven't seen episode 1, make sure to check that out first. But so I did get in to the property actually a few months back now. And in my mind, there was kind of two scenarios how it may go. Number one, I thought it was going to be completely bombed out and I had to do a full rehab. Or number two, I thought it was going to be really nice and I was going to get lucky and I could just kind of touch it up and list it. But what ended up happening was a third scenario, which I didn't really even quite consider. They built the property with about the cheapest building materials you could find. Let's take a look here. Okay, so this is the first time I ever got into the house. Actually, before the sheriff was scheduled to come, they left a note on the door and said they had left and to give them a call and they would give us a code to the house. So that was pretty cool of them. Don't mind my son. He was jumping on everything, having a blast in this big vacant house. But you can see just how cheap all of the building materials are. It had like cheap linoleum floors, oak cabinets, Formica countertops. They did take the fridge, then cheap black appliances, overmount sink, bad faucet. But like I said, it was all in great shape. It didn't even need to be painted, honestly. So it was a shame tearing up materials from 2016. So I ended up, like I said, just cleaning it out, changing out all the light fixtures, and then staging the property. So I'm going to show you guys next what it looked like after I was finished staging it. So my stager, she does a great job. I thought she crushed this one. You can see I changed out the light fixtures just to some black lantern style light fixtures from Home Depot. Thought it was better than those cheap brushed nickel ones they had. But pretty big transformation, just moving out their junk and staging it. I thought it showed really well. Also at the time, I had about 4 other rehabs going on. So another construction project really wasn't something that interested me. If I could make it work without rehabbing, that was the route I wanted to go. So what I decided to do is clean out all their junk, have the property professionally cleaned, change out their horrible light fixtures to something a little bit more updated, and stage the property. So I ended up spending $5,000 just doing this. So I could have done a full-blown rehab, new cabinets, new counters, new appliances, new floors, but it was almost like, what's the point? I mean, I wouldn't have picked any of this stuff, but it's in good condition. So why am I going to rip it all up? I mean, it's still livable. It's still move-in ready. And with the interest rates going up and up and up, I figured keeping the price lower would be beneficial for resale. So I thought the place looked awesome, but the buyers weren't really fooled, to be honest with you. They knew that these materials were super cheap and it wasn't exactly what they wanted for the price. If I was going to rehab it, I thought I could have priced it at $475,000. So just doing my $5,000 quick sprucing up, I ended up pricing the property at $459,000. So at $459,000, it got a decent amount of showings, but it just didn't have that draw where people were sending in crazy offers, you know, no multiple offers. So I finally did get an offer. It wasn't really what I wanted, to be honest with you. We ended up settling at $435,000. And let's run through the numbers on this one. All right, so I have my spreadsheet here. So I just want to run you guys through how these numbers ended up shaking out. So I paid $375,000 for the property. In Illinois, our taxes are paid 1 year in arrears, so I got a tax proration. Has spent $500 on eviction, $300 on recording, some HOA fees, transfer tax, loan fee. So all said and done, kind of netting out the tax proration, my all-in after purchase was $371,000. I spent $5,000 again just doing lights, clean out, and staging the property. Not bad in the way of utilities. It only snowed twice since I've had the property, so I got kind of lucky on snow removal. Insurance, this might be a little light because vacant property insurance has been crazy lately, but we'll say $1,000. And then I did end up taking a loan from a community bank, 6% interest-only loan for $250,000. So like I said, only got $435,000 for the property. Wasn't really fooling the buyers. And, you know, to be honest, I didn't know what was inside. I hadn't really figured how cheap they could have built the place. One thing that I know now looking back is I could have seen what they paid in 2016 and then compared that price to some of the nicer properties, the same model that had sold, and kind of get a better idea on upgrades. But, you know, live and learn. We do have to give the buyers a tax proration, paying commission here. I do save a little bit of commission on the list side since I'm a broker as well. Big tax proration, a few other fees here. So closing costs on this deal were about $33,000. So we're only going to end up making $14,000 and change on this one. Honestly, not ideal. It's a single. But, you know, I only had $137,000 invested. So cash on cash return, 10.67. Definitely way skinnier than I would like on a flip. But, you know, it's going to keep moving the chains, made a profit. I really can't complain. And it was an easy deal. I mean, $5,000 rehab, wait a couple months on the market, not a big deal. So that is the numbers on that place. I do have 5 more flips going right now. So if you guys like these videos, I have a lot more on my Instagram and TikTok, which I'll link below, but it's at Keith McMahon Real Estate. And if you guys have any questions about auction.com flips, auction, sheriff sale, or wholesaling, flipping in general, feel free to hit me up. I'd be happy to help you guys.